Hey, welcome back to another 5-10 minute slice of life podcast with Risha. And we're going to continue off the previous episode by saying that we can finally start with the whole information technology program. And there are a lot of tabs here open here because I actually attended a Zoom meeting today. It was like an information session. This is after a few rounds of communication back and forth and email with the coordinator, and there will be more screening to be done. So for example, tomorrow, most likely I'll have to fill out a screening questionnaire or something of that sort. And then a couple weeks down the road, there will be the acceptance or rejection results for all the attendants or participants, the candidates, so to speak. So that's something that I'll be continuously working on as the weeks go on by. So that's why there's actually a variety of tabs here, because this is a program that prepares you to take 2 certificates related to information technology. One, I believe, is the CCNA. I can't remember exactly what it stands for, and the other one is like the CompTia. And together combined, these are international certificates. And oh, there's the advertisement right there.
We take summer super seriously.
And so it's going to happen over the course of roughly 18 weeks, I believe the program spans. And during the first portion, like the first 8 weeks, we'll cover the first certificate, and then afterwards, the next 10 weeks will cover content for the second certificate. And the first one, I believe, has to do with what's it called? So I'm trying to obviously review some of this information right now. And that is, the first one is the Cisco Learning Network, as you see right here. Just before we dive into this, I want to mention that the previous episode we did skip something as well, and that's this over here. There was another tab hidden behind that was really important, behind the video proc software converter tool, as well as the update, not just to that software, but also to the operating system. To the browser Edge. So behind it was also a search entry that I wanted to pull up on how to reopen tabs that I had accidentally closed. So that command is Control-Shift-T, and I thought that's just relevant to the previous episode. So to restore the last closed tab, or you can right click on the empty space on the title bar, select the reopen closed tab option, and there are a variety of other options. So I'm going to close that. Again, everything here we'll cover in a future time, but for now, let's just jump back into Cisco. So this is one of the first certificates, right? And they have a variety of resources that will help you prepare outside of the program that I'm taking. So I'm, a little bit, honestly, I'm a little bit overwhelmed because that's a lot more to do now. And I basically took the time, like 1 to 2 hours, to skim through a variety of the resources that are available, because the Licensing Accreditation Institute, the organization Cisco Learning Network, that allows you to be certified and provides for it, also provides materials that will help you prepare for it outside of that program that I mentioned that I'm taking. So that's from a third party. Well, Cisco is a separate company itself. And so, for example, here, there are 2 tabs here that I want to, 2 web pages here I really want to close, that I want to discuss about first, because there's a duplicate. So the first one is the 200-301 CCNA exam topics. So this is really helpful, obviously, because it provides you all the information. It's like going to, I'll give an example. At another point in the future, I definitely want to take a training program on security and private investigations, for example. It's like, it's not exactly police officers, it's not policing, it's not at that level. But the state or province for your particular region, for me, shows the entire course content. So all 12 modules on self-management, on how to arrest, how to, apply proper use of force, security, surveillance of private property, so on and so forth. So they will go through all the content. So basically do the same thing here too. So CCNA exam topics. So they give you a last date to test for it, the exam description. And so here are the 6 major topics. So, okay, I made some mistakes. I was supposed to review this a little bit before I started to scroll down. But I know that I kind of cheated now because one says network fundamentals. I know that one of them is automation and programming. Another one has to do with IP addresses and IP service. And of course, security fundamentals. If I'm speaking fast, it's because now that we're into training programs, there's a lot of information, a lot of content to cover. I will try to slow down, but it's just a lot to cover. So I think this is really interesting, right? Because I'm new to this too. Like I've done jobs in administration, I've done volunteer foreshadowing jobs inside businesses that have covered warehousing, so physical operations in a warehouse, to administration, behind the office, to in the service and retail sector, whether that's food manufacturing, to a restaurant. I've also done like moving gigs, for companies that do slightly skilled trades and construction. And my core background is in healthcare, research, medicine. So a bit of like institution research, education, as well as mixed in with the hospital setting and clinics. But the one thing that I'm weak, one of the several domains I am weak with, right, that I don't know enough about is this. So the internet connectivity technology, I'm pretty weak comparatively to the other things. I don't have that same level of entry level knowledge, or a little bit above that, because this is actually a core competency that I'm interested in. So you see here, it breaks down all the percentages for the test, for the exam, 1.1 to 6 chapters, modules, and then it all adds up. So 20%, 25% on IP connectivity, IP addresses, automation, programmability, security fundamentals is 15%. And if you continue scrolling further down, it says you can download the complete list of CCNA exam topics in PDF format, which I have done. Also, the CCNA exam topic study plan, which breaks down like a study plan. So why don't we hop over to that if I can get a chance. What I will mention is that those are the 2 PDF slides here, PDF pages here open. And on this episode, I think I really want to get rid of this tab here. So I'm not sure if this is the study plan, but it is. So there's actually 2 tabs here open. So for example, this is a study plan, and so is this tab by mistake. They were separate links on the same page or on different pages that led to the same website or the same web page. So I can just kind of get rid of that. I want to basically explore all of the links on the website that point to useful resources for training, practicing, and learning how to become an IT professional and surpass the expectations of the exam. Okay, so if we take a look at this specific section, which is my personal interest in security, and I recognize it's going to take like 10 minutes now. This is definitely not going to be a short episode because there's so much information here. All right. So section 6.0, automation and programmability. Sorry, this is not the most interesting one, but you can tell that the study plan is pretty comprehensive. Point 1, 6.1, 6.2, point 3, describe controller-based software-defined architecture, overlay, underlay, fabric.
At Starbucks,
Compare traditional networks with controller-based networking. I have no idea what any of this stuff is right now. I have some general ideas because I know what automation is, but I don't know how it applies with regards to networking. But this is interesting for me, right? So I do have quite a bit of personal research interest in security, and cybersecurity. So section 5.0, define security concepts like threats, vulnerabilities, exploits, mitigation techniques. Describe security program elements like user awareness, training, and physical access control. So you think of like an organization, let's say you go to, your healthcare provider, your clinic, or your local, hospital, and, people working there will have privacy access, right? There will be certain roles delegated across their staff, and only certain employees are allowed to access with the right passwords or key locks, or God forbid, I don't think anybody's using fingerprint identification practice right now. But these are just some security measures in place, and we'll be learning about this, and that's really exciting for me. I'm really fucking stoked. So yeah, that's it. Now there's 2 tabs here, duplicates, like I said, of the 2023. This is the study guide, as well as the other one. There's the previous page, which covered the breakdown of the exam of the CCNA. So I'm going to close both of the duplicate tabs and keep one of each open, because I'll be using this consistently over probably the next 5 months, honestly. Anyways, it's a good thing to look into. And with that being said, let's put an end to this episode, because that was a lot of shit. We'll continue more on this whole Cisco thing and the certificate behind it in the next episode. This is Risha. I'm signing out. If you guys are taking any training yourself, if you're upskilling for a certain career path, maybe you want to, I'm not sure what, you can tell me about your goals. Is it because you want to make more income and provide more for your family? Or is it just because it's difficult right now to get by due to inflation and everything? Are you struggling? Do you want to, diverge into a different field? Who knows? Maybe you're doing a career switch. Feel free to just chime in on that. But with that being said, see you next one. Peace.